Hi, I'm Jack, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my artwork here. And we'll start with this one. And about 10 years ago, myself and one other male were asked to do a show about women's, the curse, the period. And this one I call It's No Cakewalk. And once a month, this thing's going to spin around, and you're going to either hit the number you want it to hit, you're pregnant, or you're not pregnant, you may want that number. And it's no cakewalk either way. And that's what this is about. And the good news, you may want this one, you may just want the news that you're not pregnant. And so that's this one. And I guess we'll move on to another. This one maybe, or you guys want to pick it out? This one I did probably, I could figure it out about 30 years ago. And this one, we have a daughter that's now, 34 or 5. And when she was young, about 4, she was diagnosed with a brain tumor, but it wasn't inside the brain, it was on the outside. But for a few weeks, they told us either the tumor or the cancer itself will kill her. And this I did during that period, and it's life after death. And it was just me trying to work through what was going on. So this is like a little, I put a crown of thorns on her because she was going to be suffering, and a little mourning pin. And on this side is her education, her loves in life coming that she's going to miss, that she was going to miss here. And this one is her love life. And this one over here was what she was wanted to do, be an artist. And over here again, the art and her life. So her whole life that she lived is in this doll, in this piece of art. So that's that one. And well, maybe this one here, I guess. This one is Temple of the Domestics, and we all end up here. And it's a way to go on to the afterlife. And what you do is you put your picture here, or who you want to send. And there's a big eyeball in here. It's hard to see, especially for you guys, but it's about this big and about that high. It's a moose eye, but whatever. And you enter the eyeball and then shoot up through the top. And that would include like Cleopatra, lions, birds, dogs, cats, all domestic animals. And I bought 5 tickets, and I didn't even have to give money to Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos to get to space. But that one's mine. That's Temple of the Domestics. This one, a guy in Wyoming, I went into a taxidermy shop, and he wanted to know, what do we hunt in California? Do you hunt? Yes, we do hunt in California. And what is it that you hunt? And I wanted to say humans, but instead I was wearing a different Charlie Tweedle hat. I probably should have worn it. It had a little alien face on it. A lot of fur, bear, moose. And I said, well, we hunt aliens. We shoot them, shrink them, stuff them, and wear them. And the guy was kind of impressed, shocked. And when I was walking out, I heard one of the women in the shop go, was that real? And he says, no, but the fur was. Oh, backtrack a little bit. He says, well, he was a little stunned when I said aliens, shoot 'em, shrink 'em, and he goes, well, that is nice fur work. And I said, well, if you're going to hunt aliens, you start on bear, moose, and elk, So that's what we hunt in California. This one would be the American Indian, where unfortunately we started. And this one is kind of cute. It's my travels in Mexico. And I was down there with a group, and this radiator from 1919 was on the modern bus that we were using. And I asked, what's that all about? And he says, well, they used to put them on the old buses, and the mechanics took them off and put them on the dashboard, and as we replace the bus, they move it on to the next newer bus. And the mechanics put in these little Santoses, and so for good luck. And the funny thing is, I told a man that was helping me with my English, gee, I love that thing. So a couple of weeks later, I'm leaving, and he says, Jack, at the airport, he says, Jack, goodbye. And he put it in my hand. And like a kind of a dumb gringo, I go, wow, how did you get that? And he looked at me like, whoa, are you dense? He goes, I took it. And so I finally used it. And that's that one. This one's a true American tragedy. It was the first woman president of the USA, and I was sure that she was going to win, Hillary, and be the first president, but she lost. And this was in a show in LA at the time. And when I got back, there's a star behind her. And when I got back, one of the little wings was lying at the bottom. And it had just fallen off. In fact, the star came from somebody right here in the room. So that one, I thought maybe it meant something that it broke off, and I left it. I was going to repair it. And shall we do one or two more? This one is one that I did about my wife, and so she's got her memories of her life. I'll just keep it short and sweet. And this is a palette that I just loved, and the little girl, and these different objects. A little bit dizzy today, without answers. And this one is about gun violence, and I saw Biden talking about it today. And this is that it's a ball with a lot of metal pieces in it, and they're like bullets. And there's no one else left to shoot, and without hitting another bullet. And this is endless tears, and that's Jesus with tears running down all the way down his face. And I don't see any others right here I can do. That's about it. This one's probably too far away. Correct? This one, I'll tilt it a little bit. And this one I was showing at the time in a place in Russia, gallery in Russia. They had one in LA, one in Russia. And this one was for the Breslin bombing and takeover in Chechnya. They took over a school with 400 kids and ended up blowing them up. And there were they gave me a coffin to make it out of. And rather than put it all in one coffin that opened, I separated the two pieces. And the other one was the mummified doll, and this was the alive or resurrected doll. And they didn't want the resurrected one, just the mummified one, so they bought that one, but I ended up bringing this one back. And it sounds a little Alice in Wonderland, to go on to a new world and live. But I if you want to go down that path, I'm willing to let anybody go. And that's it. I have another one up front that I could walk it back and show you, but that's about the ones here that I can see. Oh, down here, this was one of my first ones, and I found this old seeding machine, and it's kind of the seeding of Christianity, and the beads surround the cedar so that you can see it. And I've got these faces and I was trying to make a quasi-religious piece. So that one is probably, let's see, I made it after the '89 earthquake. And that's how I started in art, is before that I had kind of worked in another field, and then in the earthquake I lost a lot of things, and I was throwing them out when I realized I should make something entirely new out of the broken antiques and glass and stuff that I had. And so that's how I got into art in the first place. Any questions? Or I'm done. Thank you.